Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to another episode of My Fiber Fun. You guys, I had made a full video of my shopping trip. I wouldn't even call it a shopping trip, of my trip to Joann's in Bloomfield Hills, Michigan, on Telegraph, for those of you who are in Southeast Michigan. But the music was so loud in the background that I know I would pick up a copyright strike from YouTube, so I cannot upload the video. But believe me, I'ma just tell the story because it's better to tell it than to have shown it. Woo! Listen, y'all, and this is my advice, because people have been coming on and making YouTube videos about the Joann closures, and they've been saying, you know, maybe you should buy this or to buy that or whatever. I understand, because some people are losing their Joanns in their whole state. So in that case, yes, you want to, you know, buy up what all you can and panic buy. And I really cannot say how they're liquidating at the other locations, but I can tell you, for the location in Bloomfield, the prices were higher today than they were 2 weeks ago. When I went to Joann's and bought, remember, I bought the Yarn Swift and the Yarn Bowl. There is really, okay, for the most part, most stuff is 20% off. And most stuff is regular price. So basically, like my little storage thing. In fact, let me show it to you. This is what's for my seeds, and I've put some of the seeds in there, but I haven't gotten it together yet, but I stuck the seeds in. Anyway, I got this at 40% off, and it was already half off of $39.99. This was last week. And then I had a 40% off coupon that they were nice enough to blend, so the 40% off coupon actually kind of goes for the highest price item. So one of those ended up being 90% off, and then the other two that I purchased were 50% off. I only paid, like, I think for each one, it was regularly $40, and I ended up paying, it was less than 20. But anyway, and then the Yarn Bowl, and then I also bought a Yarn Swift, remember? Okay. They didn't have any more Yarn Bowls, and they've pretty much sold out of the storage, the type that I bought. So I'm glad I got that 2 weeks ago at 50% off. Well, all of them are now currently just 20% off of the regular price. So you're still gonna pay for 20% off of $40. What's that gonna get you? I think probably about $10, if that. You'll probably still pay $30. So, no, and people really think they're getting deals. The yarn, all the yarn, the hooks and knitting needles and yarn accessories, all of that is 25% off of the regular price, with the exception of the clearance yarns. And even the clearance yarns aren't that cheap. I'm telling you. Then I went to the fabric floor, and the fabric, other than that clearance section that I showed you guys a couple of weeks ago, nothing's really on clearance. And when I say, and on my video, I refer to them as the vultures, people are in there panic buying, and boy, I know Joann is happy for that. Because in my area, these folks are buying up this stuff as if it's at almost free. I saw a lady whose basket was stacked up so high, she needed a second basket because things were falling over. She had a basket full of yarn. Then she had a whole bunch of fabric there, which weren't the clearance stuff. And the regular price ones, none of it was on sale. They did have scissors at 25% off. So the Ginger scissors had all sold out, and I'm glad I purchased that years ago. I got every size Ginger scissor that there was years ago, back when Joann's used to give you a 50% off coupon every week. And so I would always go in and get a pair of Ginger scissors until I had them all. I bought my squares for quilting. That's when I thought I was going to start quilting. So I bought all that stuff. I bought my yarn winder, anything that was of expense, my embroidery hoop which was regularly like $100. All that stuff back in the day, like back in 2008 and 9, when they gave those good coupons, and then sometimes they combine a 20% off everything with the 50%. Oh, I used to get down. So Joann has done me well. Okay, so I've got pretty much everything I need. I don't need any more yarn by no means. So therefore, all I wanted to buy, I said if I could find it, I wanted to get a body form. The body forms that they had there are still $300. Some of them $200, $299, nothing off of it. And I found some body forms on eBay, those same body forms, as cheap as $50. So guess what? eBay, here I come. So I just wanted that just to get it. Then I had grabbed some tulle. The tulle was not on sale, and the line was so long they had only 2 workers in the whole store. The one lady working the register. Oh, and where the needles, the knitting needles, hooks, and crochet accessories are, they actually have little lock things there so that nothing can be stolen. So you have to get an associate in order to grab whatever you want. And this is at the Bloomfield Hills location. And I will show, sorry, I'm stuttering because I'm still frazzled and excited. Okay. I will show one video. I did a video which was like maybe 4 or 5 minutes. The main video of the shopping part, I'm not going to share. That was like 15 minutes, too much music. But that one, it has a little music, but I might get away with it because I was in an area where the music wasn't so loud. It's like you can barely hear it. And then I was talking, so YouTube might not catch that unless they watch this video and say, oh, let me watch. But anyway, I showed that, how they have the anti-theft, and that stuff was not there 2 weeks ago. In fact, I filmed that very area 2 weeks ago and shared it, and that stuff was not there. So they put that there after the announcement came. And remember on that first video, I mentioned that a little birdie had told me one of the employees volunteered the information and was telling us all, because there was a lot of us kind of up at the front, and she was like, they're going to be announcing tomorrow if there's a buyer. And so, you know, we're listening and we were like, oh, okay, because no one had really asked or anything. Now, people were asking today, and I thought it was rude because one lady was like, so when are you closing? These nice people that I've shopped with over the years, I mean, they're different faces and all, but people who have always been nice and cordial and Joann's, they weren't today. You know, they just seemed rude. I don't know if it was because I was paying more attention or what. People were in the way. Stuff was strewn all about. You would think that the stuff was free and people were just going through it, but nothing was on sale. But these people are just going and sifting through stuff and just leaving it anywhere. It's horrible. I thought it was absolutely terrible. I was in there no longer than about 10 minutes. So when I found out, I didn't know there were 2 workers in the store. And when I say the lines, the fabric line was wrapped around the whole second floor. And then of course the checkout line was wrapped all the way around. So I had to wait in the checkout line because I wanted to ask the lady if she could call an associate to go unlock the hook so that I could get a set of knitting needles, because I want to teach myself how to knit. And the knit needles were 25% off. So I said, okay, I'll get a pair. I should have just walked out, but I'm thinking that maybe there were associates, because I had walked the whole floor looking for an associate, and that was before I found out she was it. So, of course, there's a long line behind me, and when I told her that, I was like, you know what, never mind. I was like, the line is too long, no. And so the people behind me was like, no, that's just going to take a minute. No, we'll wait. We've been waiting anyway. We could just make it real quick because we know. Okay, so the lady, she jumps off the register and she was happy to get that break, okay? And we shot to the back, which wasn't far. It's only a few steps because that downstairs at that Joann's is small. The upstairs is bigger, but the downstairs is smaller. So we were back there in like a few seconds. I knew exactly what I want. She unlocked the thing. I grabbed it off, and here are the hooks. So this is my parting gift. So anyway, that's all I bought. And I got the hickety heck out of there, okay? Because like I said, it was almost like a circus atmosphere. And I said, now we're still going to have a location in our area where White Lake. So I don't know where these people were from. And some people may have been coming from another state, or they may have come from deep down in Detroit. I don't know. But I know that one of the areas in Detroit is staying open. I forgot what city. But it's going to be like in the Detroit area. And then for us, our area where I'm at, White Lake. So now if I wanted to go to Joann's, it would take me about 20 minutes to get there. And that's really not bad in the scheme of things. So I said, they're not going to be liquidating like they did, like, let's say, Rite Aid when they closed. For those of you who have a Rite Aid pharmacy in your town, our Rite Aid closed down altogether. So when they liquidated, when they announced their closure date, which was for last August, but they actually stayed open until September, they marked that stuff at 90% off, and people, bought it and whatnot. So in that case, you can understand people, going in there, digging through stuff and whatnot. Plus, they had a lot of workers. In here, it was just a nightmare. It just looked horrible. So it kind of made me sad. But it doesn't, the closures I'm saying it doesn't even faze me. It'll faze me if they decide to close the remaining Michigan locations, in my area. It would faze me then. But currently, it's another day in the neighborhood. And then even walking into the Joann, it was another day in the neighborhood, but people were in there just going wild. I don't know why. I could not understand why you would want to go in there and pay all that money higher than what you would have paid 2 weeks ago, and nothing's really on a big, huge clearance. There's no total off anything. There's no coupons. And then everything was listed as liquidation on the app. And it tells you, if you click on the section that you want to shop, it tells you if that item is still in stock or not. That's why I went back to Bloomfield, because Auburn Hills have been cleaned out. So people are just panic buying in general, I believe. But I wouldn't dare. I would not have spent that type of money, panic buying, unless they just didn't have anything. And yeah, they got a few deals, 25% off, but that's no different from any typical day at Joann's. The yarn's been 25% off for the past year, So it's nothing unusual. So anyway, so like I said, I got on out of there. And like I said, it was sad. I feel sorry for those who are losing all the Joann's in their state, because it is more detrimental to them. And where ours will be disappearing, there in the suburbs, something will take over the building. I have a feeling they're going to put a HL at the Auburn Hills location, which is 5 minutes from my home. The Bloomfield Hills location, they may decide to expand, because there's a Kroger right next door. So they may decide to expand the Kroger, or maybe put something else there. They could throw a Michael's there or whatever. That would be a good spot for one. So anyway, we shall see in the near future, how it all plays out. Yep. So that was it as far as that's concerned. And like I said, I got the knitting needles, so I'm going to try to, I know the local yarn store by my sister's, which isn't too far from me, they do knitting classes. So I'm going to try some YouTube tutorials. I know the basics of knitting. I know how to purl. I believe that's what it is. Or the knit stitch. I don't know, but nothing further. But I'm going to try it, I said, because I'm getting ready to buy a little spool after watching Jillian Eve's video about the spinning. I'm going to buy one of those little spinning spools, get my little cotton spun. So I'm going to order that probably next week. And so when I get ready to finish my Noro blanket, at least when I put some of my own cotton in, it'll be spun, And then also, I'm going to get some more knitting needles. I just get this one pack because I didn't want to hold the lady up. And they had a lock on every single thing for every single size. So she would have been back there a while had I bought more. So I just got this one. And that was it. And so, like I said, I'm glad I went last week, because I was able to get the big ticket items real cheap, the stuff that I actually wanted and needed. And so I feel that I've done well. So y'all have at it. So I just wanted to give that report. And like I said, I will add on that video that I shared today, that little 4 to 5 minute video, to show you how it was in there. and then explain and all that. And you will see from that video that I shared last week, you will see that there was a vast difference from what I showed last week. Okay, you guys, first of all, welcome new members. I don't know where you guys are coming from, but hey. Okay, so I'm glad you decided to join me for my fiber journey, okay? Yes, I'll still get acrylic and whatnot, and I have nothing against it. But my closets are full of acrylic yarn right now, so I don't need anything. But I decided since I turned 60, I'm going to start using fibers. And so once I found the little knit site and saw that the fibers were cheap and whatnot, I got down. So I got my first Nora blanket going on. So, yep, so I'll be working on this, and then I got some silk yarn. I got a lot of stuff, so go to the past videos and you'll see what I have thus far, which is a nice little stash. So I won't be purchasing anything for a while until I use up my stash. Now, that's another change that I decided to make. No, I'm not going to just build up. The only way I'll buy is if something is just too good to pass up. For instance, some 100% silk yarn went on sale a couple of days ago. I got the notice. I didn't know. I didn't see it till the next day. That mess is sold out, y'all. And it was cheap. It was like, I think it was like $10 for a whole bunch. It was a huge hank of it. Not what I bought from the KFI, but from something else. It was like $10, and that mess sold out so quick. And like that Baracco yarn that sold out, I had bought some the day before at 10% off, and the next day it went to 50% off because of overstock. And so I called Little Knits, and they went on and gave me that. So they gave me a gift card. So I have a gift card waiting right there on the site. So the next time I'm ready to buy, at least I have that. And so anyway, so like I said, welcome again, new members. I'm glad you're here, and I'll get better as time goes on. My filming isn't the best. I'm old, y'all, okay? So, hey, this is it. But anyway, so I hope you enjoy watching my fiber journey. So I'll be coming on. This was just a kind of like an emergency episode, because normally I chose to come on like once a week on the weekend. But because I was fool enough to walk my big button to Joann's on today, I just had to come on to share the atmosphere that I experienced. Like I said, I'm frazzled. I'm finna go in here and eat lunch, and then I'm gonna take a nap, and that'll be it for today. So you guys have a wonderful day, and may God bless you all. And look for the other video later. I'll be posting that just a wee bit later. So, bye-bye.